Today is Rust Prevention Day. I'm in my truck. I'm heading down to the auto hobby shop. I've got a box full of camera equipment. I've got a box full of different rust removal stuff and some clamps for some reason. I'm not sure why I put those in my truck. I've got some lights in the back. I've got all my sandpaper. I realized that a normal human being would just take maybe a sanding block, a wire brush, and some Rust-Oleum, and that would be more than enough. But I go overboard with everything. Drives my wife crazy. So I've got like 3 different types of rust removers. I've got about 40 different sanding pads, like I'm doing woodwork here, and gonna be finishing up to like 2,000 grit. I don't think I'll use more than the 120 or the 220 on it, but I brought everything just because I had room in my truck and I didn't want to be at the auto hobby shop and not have what I need. I've also got wire brushes to hook into a drill and also just little handheld brushes. So I'm excited to get this cleaned up and protected so I can just forget about it and enjoy my truck and know that it's not rusting anymore. So we'll see. Okay. It really hangs the revs if you get on it and then, I mean, I'm going 50 in third gear and it hung at, 4,500 RPM for an extra 5 seconds. I guess it's just saying, don't give up here, keep going. But there are speed limits in this country. Sorry, Raptor Ranger, we have to abide. All right, we'll see you when we get down to the Marine Corps base. So while I'm driving, question. I know you shouldn't drive on pavement, tarmac, with 4 high because it locks the transfer case and it binds up everything. Is it cool to drive in 4 auto year-round all the time, or is that just turning more gear, getting worse mileage, and does it wear anything out? So right now I have it in 2 high just because it's dry outside. I don't think I need to put it in 4 auto, but I'm wondering if I set my Raptor setting to always be in 4 auto, so sport mode, 4 auto start, stop, off. Is that a good idea or a bad idea for any reason? So please let me know. I've had all-wheel drive cars before that are built that way, and there's no option to drive it in just 2-wheel drive. But I'm wondering in this one if I should stick with 2 high unless I actually need to go into 4 auto. So thanks, appreciate it. This thing's so fun. I went to college at the Naval Academy and we had to sing cadences every time we marched anywhere. There was a big Army-Navy rivalry, so my favorite cadence was 1, 1, 1, 1. What the hell comes after 1? Go Army! Because they couldn't count. And when I saw that I was about to hit 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, that's what I thought of. So go Navy, beat Army. Yut. So it's a Friday morning before lunch on the Marine Corps base. This is their liquor store. In the Navy, we call it a package store. The Army calls it a Class 6. I think the Marines call it the breakfast buffet. I'm not really sure. But anyway, in about 8 hours, these shelves will be far less stocked. Marines know what to do on the weekends. All right, in here, let's get under it. All right, so here's what we're starting with. Rust all over, and then all the way up the axle. Gonna get all this cleaned up today. We also got it on there, so I'll be dropping these skid plates, front axles, also rusty, so I'm gonna get in there as much as I can, and on this one as well. So not a ton of work to do today, but the fact that I have a lift makes this so much easier. I'm leaving the auto hobby shop after about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes of my truck being up on the lift. So they wouldn't let me record in there, which I understand. I'm on a base. Other people don't want to be on videos. So when they told me that, I said, okay, turned it off. I was gonna do the work anyway. Started sanding down the rust a little bit, using my little wire brushes. It was coming off super easy. And then one of the guys that works in there, he's like there basically to help you with anything you need if you have questions. He came over, you know, looking at the truck, getting under it with me, showing me what's what, asking me why I was, you know, cleaning that off. And he told me, you know, just like a lot of the people in the comments said, you know, it's cast iron. It's going to get surface rust. It is not something you need to worry about. You'll be chasing this forever. You'll sand it down. You might even paint it. You'll start getting rust again. You'll sand it down. But this is not going to penetrate into the cast iron. It's just going to stay on the surface. So to everybody who told me that, I appreciate it. In my mind, I was thinking, you know, rust that tears stuff apart starts as surface rust and then works its way in and causes problems. But you were right. This guy confirmed it. I did sand down just a little bit on the drive shaft, and then I realized it's too hard to turn the drive shaft when it's up on a lift. You turn one wheel and then the other one just turns the other way, because that's how the differential works. So more trouble than it was worth. What I do think I am going to do, there's a product called Rust Encapsulator. So I'm going to get some of that. It's basically black paint that at a molecular level just coats around all the surface rust and keeps, you know, any oxygen away, because that's all rust is oxidation. So basically you're just putting some coating over the rust that's already there, and it just keeps it from rusting in the future, and it gives it a nice black look to it. So that's my plan now. My first thought was, what a waste of time. I spent $8 to get my truck up on a lift that I used for 20 minutes. $8 is nothing, but still, it would have been $0 if I didn't come out here at all. But I got a haircut, went to the liquor store, so overall it's a win. When I was under there with him, he did tell me that if you plan on doing any actual wheeling with this thing, upgrade your oil pan and your transmission fluid pan for an aluminum pan. He said these plastic ones have some issues. He said just don't mess with it if you're planning on actually taking this thing off-road and using it for what it's built for. A little disappointing that Ford went with the plastics now. I know I've gone back and forth on this, looking into it. I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but when someone like that who lives out here in Virginia and goes out on the trails, he has a Jeep, and he was telling me those are fine if you're just going to stay on the road, but if you're going to go out and do off-road things, upgrade to the aluminum oil pan and transmission pan, and get some of the skid plates that protect the transmission. He was impressed with everything else on the truck. He's looking around, like the inside and outside of the frame was painted. He said that's the thing you need to worry about with rust, is the frame itself. But as he was looking around, he said every single thing I would worry about rusting on this truck is coated, so you're in good shape. Drive shafts, don't worry about it, surface rust only. I'm rambling here. Let's see, what else did he tell me? There's some plastic covers over some of the things that I don't even know what he was pointing to. Somewhere in the rear suspension, he's like, oh man, this is cool. It's got a cover over this, so you don't have to worry about such and such. So very useful information that I'm giving you right now, so you're very welcome. Anyway, that's it. I think I'm done now. I feel defeated. The sweet Mercury Grand Mariner LS is out for a Sunday drive on a Friday. Look at that boat. guess my fun is over. Somebody pulled out in front of me. But while we're driving down the road here behind this truck with a trailer, I've never had a four-wheel drive truck, off-road truck, or off-road vehicle in general that has, you know, a big beefy transfer case and big beefy differentials that was so quiet inside. And it's a little disconcerting because you hear all the whining of the gears turning and stuff, where normally that would be drowned out by wind noise and tire noise and just, you know, everything that comes through in an older Jeep or an older S10 or something like that. In this car, you hear it all. So I'm constantly in here wondering, you know, oh shoot, is my differential or transfer case oil levels low, or do I need to, you know, get under it and check this or that? But I think it's all just normal noises that I was never able to hear in the past, that all of a sudden I can hear them in this because everything else is so quiet. So I'm curious, for those of you that already have your trucks in, you know, Australia, South Africa, Asia, wherever you are in the world, if you've had previous off-road vehicles that were a little noisier and now you have this, if you're in the same boat, you hear these whining or whirring noises or just gears churning, and if it's, you know, something you're not used to, how long did it take to get used to it? And then for everybody here in the States that gets one of these, just know they're so quiet inside that you're going to hear things you would not normally hear, and I'm hoping it's normal. I have checked the fluid levels, so I know they're good. But anyway, just food for thought. I'm just bored driving, so figured I would just talk. Hey, how did the cyber criminal get away from the FBI? He ran somewhere. Get it? Ran somewhere? Because they use ransomware, but it sounds like he ran somewhere. Yeah. It's over!
It's over!